So, until then, until now we have been using the while statement, the until statement and the for statement. All these three statements are used for loop iteration. Now, we saw that the for statement we were able to parse a string because we put for star in for I in star. So, where that star expanded to a string and then we were able to parse the string. Then for the while statement and the until statement we actually did some counts. Now, let us see a variation of for statements where we can do these counts. So, in this case for example, what we are trying to do is we will now use a program and then we will study this program to which uses the for statement to count down from values of 10 to 1. So, here is the program. So, what we are doing is look at the syntax of this statement. So, we are in line number 3 we try to initialize the variable I to whatever value we are passing and then we are trying to see what should be the condition. So, this is the initial value initialization, then this is the condition and then this is the increment or the decrement value for the variable I. And so, essentially if I pass a value of 10 to this shell script, it will actually start counting from 10 to 1. So, let us try to execute this program and see. So, I have done a rev for dot sh, then I give a value of 10. So, it says counting 10, 9, 8 and actually it sleeps for 1 second to ensure that we are able to observe this program. So, then it comes out. Now, what we will try to do is we will try to now debug this program and see how it executes. So, for that what we do is we edit this program and then give a minus x option, okay, and then try to rerun this program, same program with the same variable. Now, if you look at this, we are very clearly able to see, I will just stop this program. So, we are very clearly able to see this. Initially the variable I takes a value of 10 and then the next step it tries to see a comparison of whether the value of 10 is greater than 0 and once it is greater than 0 it says counting 10, then it sleeps for 1 second. Then if you remember, this was we are decrementing the value by 1, okay, then it is checking whether this value is greater. Now, from this is the loop that it is executing again and again and again. So, if you look at this, this statement repeats. Okay. By this way, okay, we are reproducing whatever we have done with the until loop, whatever we have done within the while loop, we are also able to get it within the for loop in bash shell. So, the question is why is there 3 variation? Well, it depends on what logic you are going to use. So, we leave it fully to you on whichever syntax you are comfortable, just go ahead and do it. Not only you should look at the syntax, you should also look at whether the flow of the code gets broken if is correct if you use one of these loops. Well, one of the other things that you should be very careful in shell scripting is that there could be some minor variation in syntax which I thought you would have probably observed in the previous code, but then let me try to example try to explain through an example on how there could be minor variations in your shell scripting code. Okay. So, for that what I will do is I will try to write a small shell program using the while loop. So, let us type I is equal to 10 while $I is greater than 0. So, I say I give a do. So, I print echo $I, then I sleep for a second, then I reduce the value of I. So, I is equal to expr $I minus 1, okay, and then I complete the loop. So, actually this program will also do the same thing what we did in the last time where we use the for loop, but then I have something as a surprise for you. Let us see what program we had typed and let us see how it is getting printed in the shell. So, if you see I had typed like this. Okay. Now, what you are getting is something like this, and are you able to identify the difference? So, I had never put any semicolon here. So, if you look at this code, I never put any semicolon here, but if you see this code, I get the semicolon here, I get the semicolon here, and so on, and in fact there is a semicolon even after the brace. So, where I inserted a new line. So, essentially what happens is that once you type in your code, okay, your shell script or your shell actually takes the code and breaks it into different new lines, and this actually presents a new line. So, if you look at this semicolon, it actually represents a new line. Okay. So, in some shell scripts, for example, you take from the web or some code that your people have written, instead of writing one line after the other line, you could actually put a semicolon and then split the statement into two lines. Okay. So, this kind of variations will actually exist in a shell script. So, you need to be aware of this. We just wanted to mention it to you to ensure that you do not get confused if you see those kind of shell script. Now, coming back, okay. So, we have seen that whatever programs we are doing, we try to exit the loop early by putting a control C. We were in a hurry to get out of the loop, so we put a control C, or if you do not put the control C, or then the loop went on executing and you were able to exit the program only after it satisfied that particular condition, or the condition became false in case of while loop, the condition became true in case of until loop, etc. Now, the shell scripting provides a way of exiting a loop early. So, what it does is you can use a break command. Okay. The break command will exit from the current loop and the program control will be resumed directly after the loop construct from which it exited. Okay. So, the question is, if I have a for loop, okay, so immediately after the and for is the only loop, and inside that I put a break statement, then the program flow comes down to the statement immediately after the done. Okay, it is true for while and until also. Now, what happens if I have two loops, okay, which people call as nested loops? So, there is an outer loop and there is an inner loop. If the break statement is present inside the inner loop, then it comes just after the done of the inner loop. Okay, and if the break statement is in the outer loop, then it comes out of the for loop itself. Okay, so, the next point is that, so suppose I want to break for certain cases, but I want to continue for certain cases, that I do not want to exit the loop for certain cases. So, I want to exit only for a certain case, for other cases I do not want to exit and I want to continue. So, in such a circumstance, okay, we have a continue statement. Okay. So, the continue statement actually what it does is it breaks from the current line of continue and then starts executing that loop again. Okay. So, for example, if I say I am executing inside a loop, say I am counting numbers 5, 4, 3, and if I say continue, okay, so it skips all other statements after the continue, but then again comes back to the for statement and execute. So, it will print the value of 2 and 3. So, let us now, instead of explaining it in words, let us try to look at an example and then try to understand how this statement works. So, let us take this program called break while.sh. Okay, let us try to understand this program first and then we will go ahead and see how the break and the continue statements work. Okay. So, let us take this program. So, the first 4 lines, okay, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, the first 5 lines tell you that the number of arguments for this program should be 2, and it says that the first argument should be an integer and the second argument should be the number that you want to break at. So, what we do is that we just assign the first argument as num and then we start counting num and then we sleep for 1 second and then we exactly do a operation whereby we try to find out at which point you want to either continue or break. So, what we are saying is that if this is the number to break, okay, so if I say I initialize the value of num to 10 and I want to break at 5, so this if loop tries to compare the num with the value of 5. Okay. So, if the value of 5, so if this compares this num with value of 5, okay, and both are equal, then the loop has to break. So, once it does encounters the break statement, it will come out here and say exiting the program. Whereas, in other cases, if these values are not equal, then it will do the continue, which essentially means it will not print any statement after this continue. So, let us try to print some statement after the continue. I will not get printed, okay, and let us see whether this program. So, essentially what happens is that as long as the number is greater, okay. So, for example, if this number is greater than whatever you supply for the number to break, okay, the program will break, otherwise the program will continue, and this essentially will be a and I can also say that, okay, program continuing, echo program continuing. Okay. So, let us see how this works. Okay. So, I put revfar dot break while dot sh, and I will say 10, and then I want to exit at 7. So, it counts 10. So, the program is continuing, the program is continuing, and at 8, okay, because I put when the counts become 7, it has to exit, therefore, it exits at 8. Now, remember, I had also put one more echo which is not getting printed. So, if you look at this program, I put this echo statement, I will not get printed, and actually it is not getting printed. So, now you know how the flow of control happens in this program. So, whenever I encounter a break statement, I know that I come to line number 25, print and exit. Now, whenever I come to a continue statement, okay, I actually come here and then I do not come to 25, but what I do is I actually go back to this place, that is 13, and then execute. So, that essentially this is a dead code or redundant code. So, this one that is marked is a dead code or a redundant code, and so this is how a break and a continue statement works. So, let us now try to use this again. Okay. So, break while dot sh. So, let us try to see the demo again. So, I want to break at 6. So, what happens is that 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and when it comes to 6, the program breaks. So, in this way we will be able to exit out of the loop based on a certain condition. So, one of the things that you should be aware, okay, in shell scripting is, one, you can also have a for loop, okay, which is based on whatever we have done. I mean, in the sense for, and then you have a curved brace, first curved brace and second curved brace, and then close the curved brace. Okay. The second thing is there could be bunch of syntax changes. So, you need to be extremely careful. Okay. So, whatever you type might be slightly different, or some people could have typed differently, they could have had a semicolon and things like that. And then third, you should understand that there is a break statement and a continue statement. Okay. The break is used to break a loop, and the continue statement is used to continue the program and not execute some of the statements after the continue statement.